Hi, I'm the Moroccan angel, and I'm here to help others set things right with their Maker. Hi, I'm the Moroccan angel, and today we're going to be focusing on the question, is a Christian by belief alone? So, when the human mind believes something, our behavior tends to coincide with that which we believe. This is one of the reasons why it is so extremely important to not only be careful of the information you take in, but to the best of your ability, due diligence, and factually verifying what you believe to be true. So let's start with defining the word belief. Belief is defined as mental acceptance of and conviction in the truth, actuality, or validity of something. Many individuals mentally accept something to be true without the factual evidence that it's true. They are emotionally convinced, dependent upon how it made them feel, or they were socially convinced, meaning the adoption of the mindset is because the majority believe it to be true, then it must be true. Or they believe it to be true because they've blindly put their trust in an individual, carrying a trustworthy title, declaring it to be true, such as a doctor or scientist or a preacher, a pope, a nun. It's the idea of placing one's trust or confidence in a person or their ability to convey to you the truth of a matter. So when addressing this subject of belief, we are specifically addressing religious beliefs, which involves the knowledge of how to be accepted by or of God. You see, as humans, the majority that is, there is a desire to know of and be accepted by God. This seems to be the highest acquisition of man, to somehow find his way back into the good graces of his Creator since the occurrence or incident in the Garden of Eden. There's an inner desire to make it right. How do I get right with my Maker? So when someone comes along glowing, we're convinced, yes? Or when someone comes along performing magical tricks or elements of the supernatural, we're inclined to believe that this person automatically knows God because they can read my mind. However, trusting someone to do something in which they are incapable of doing is a recipe for disaster. Mentally accepting or trusting someone who is wicked to instruct you and guide you into the presence of God is scripturally unable to be done. It will not happen. You see, the scriptures are clear. The wicked do not know him, despite a great many of them believe and they're convinced that they do. They've also convinced many others of the same. But is it the quote-unquote belief that they know him that defines the truth? Because an individual's belief alone does not validate facts. The question, is a Christian by belief alone, involves not just the individual's personal belief, but the verifying of this belief against the evidence of what is written within the Christian scriptures. So is a Christian by belief alone? Let us examine the definition of the word. A Christian in the original Greek is Christianos, meaning explicitly a follower of Christ. Notice, it's not defined as one who believes to be a follower of Christ, but one who is a follower of Christ. This goes beyond just the claim. So what does this mean, to follow? It means to obey. A follower is one who accepts the guidance, command, or leadership of another. One who not only accepts the teachings of another, but adheres to them. They hold fast to them. They do them. They obey them. To obey is to carry out or fulfill the command, order, or instruction of. It is to behave or act in accordance with. So how are you fulfilling the command or carrying out the order and instruction of Jesus? Committing adultery. But you, quote unquote, believe you're a Christian. This is basic. You see, Jesus stated clearly to keep the commandments. You know, the laws and commandments established by the God of Israel in the original Testament. And you're eating pork every Easter. Or for some of you, it's just part of your diet, but you're convinced you're a Christian. How are you acting in accordance with the law, eating pork? The very basic defining of the word Christian dispels the idea that a Christian is a Christian by belief alone. You must obey, steadfastly comply with the teachings and commandments of Jesus. If you are not obeying his teachings and commandments, you are not a Christian by sheer definition of the word. In James chapter 1 verse 22, he warns, "But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves." In James chapter 2 verse 14, he stated, "What does it profit, my brethren, though a man say he hath faith and have not works? Can faith save him? No." Verse 17, "If your belief is not proven by acts, you are not saved." Verse 24, "But the works," your acts, the works of the law, "by the works a man is justified, and not by faith or belief only." He is undeniably answering the question. You are not saved by faith or belief alone. Wow, this is clear. And interestingly, in direct opposition to another disciple. Romans chapter 3 verse 28, the Apostle Paul stated clearly, "Therefore we conclude that a man is justified by faith without the deeds of the law." So Paul is clearly noting that by belief alone, you will be justified. You are considered righteous just by believing. Now, these are two disciples of Jesus who are directly, undeniably expressing two opposing viewpoints. James holding the less popular belief that by works a man is justified and not by belief alone. And the Apostle Paul is stating that by belief alone, you will be justified. And so what do? Let's put this in perspective. We have the literal definition of the word, which identifies a genuine Christian based upon their actions. And then we have two disciples of Jesus, one stating that you're a genuine Christian based on your acts, James, and the other stating you're a genuine Christian solely based upon your belief, the Apostle Paul. So what do? We look to the one who has the authority. Who has the final say here? Well, in the book of John, chapter 13, verse 16, Jesus himself stated that the servant is not greater than his Lord, neither he that is sent greater than he that sent him. Jesus said, "Truly I say unto you, a servant is not greater than his master, nor is a messenger greater than one who sent him." Who sent Paul? And who sent James? Was it not Jesus? Therefore, their message must align with what Jesus said. Did Jesus say a Christian is a Christian by belief alone? In Matthew chapter 16, verse 24, Jesus said to his disciples, "If any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me." In Matthew 10, verse 38, Jesus stated, "Anyone who does not take up his cross and follow me is not worthy of me." There's that word again. Follow. Not believe, but follow. I just want to be clear. To take up the cross is an act. To follow him is an act. It is the act of obedience to his commandments and teachings steadfastly. In the book of Luke, chapter 14, verse 27, Jesus is documented as saying, "Whoever does not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple." Are you hearing this? Jesus is unquestionably stating, you must deny yourself, you must take up your cross, and you must follow him. And how do you follow him? You obey him. How are you obeying him while in the act of sin? If you are professing to be a Christian and committing acts of sin, you are deceived. In John chapter 12, verse 26, Jesus stated, "If any man serve me, let him follow me. And where I am, there shall also my servant be." There are many who quote unquote believe they are a genuine Christian in a nightclub, or convinced they're a genuine Christian watching pornography, or practicing dalliance, indulging in addictions and perversions. Tell me, Jesus said, "Where I am, there shall also my servant be." Where he is he there? Is he at the nightclub? Is he there while you're getting high? In 1 Peter 2 and 21, it states, "For to this you were called, because he suffered for you, leaving you an example that you should walk, or that you should follow in his steps." Do you think you are serving him or walking in his steps while engaged in these acts? Do you think you're following him or obeying him? Listen, Jesus himself has declared within the Christian scriptures, the one who established the rules of Christianity. He is the authority concerning this question. Is a Christian by belief alone? According to Jesus, no. He stated clearly that if you do not follow or obey him, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot be his disciple. Nobody can change that. Not you, not Paul, not your pastor. What's written is written. Read it for yourself. He didn't say, all you need to do is believe me. Because it's not just about belief. It's about what you do. Your actions define things. Anyone can say they believe, but true belief is manifested through actions. Look at your actions since professing to be a Christian. Have you committed sin since vowing loyalty to serve Jesus? If so, you are not a genuine Christian. You turned or reached back to take up what you vow to put down. That in itself is a major problem. So you have the literal defining of the word Christian, confirming that it is not just a matter of belief alone, but one who actually steadfastly obeys Jesus' teachings and commands. And most important, you have the very words of Jesus declaring that it's not just a matter of belief alone. You must follow him by obeying his teachings and commands. His command to sin no more. The question is, who are you going to believe? The Apostle Paul, the Apostle James, who are both disciples of Jesus? Are you going to believe Jesus and what he says a Christian is? If you have questions concerning this, maybe you think to sin no more is an impossibility. If you'd like to learn how this is possible to live a sinless life, I would like to encourage you to schedule a one-on-one with me. I do a series of 4 coaching calls in which I equip you with the biblical knowledge and necessary skills to stop sinning. If this sounds like something you're interested in, visit my website at meeka6.com. And remember, always do what is right. It matters.